There are thousands of accounts of human rights abuses carried out during Syria's civil war. Many of the most brutal cases took place in Aleppo between 2011 and 2013. Now, a report published by the campaign group Syrian British Consortium concludes that one of the country's top sporting officials was responsible for many of the abuses. He's Omar Al-Aroub. He is now chairman of the country's Paralympic Committee, but at the time he was a senior member of the regime-aligned National Union of Syrian Students, a group that reportedly beat and tortured opposition groups. Our Middle East regional editor Mike Thompson has this report and a warning: you may find some of the details upsetting.
As anti-government protests by Syrian students grew in intensity, so did the crackdown against them.
The order was to use brute force against any student activism. For example, we were ordered to detain a student and beat him on his genitals to leave him impotent.
Nidal wasn't in the security services. He was a student at Aleppo University, a member of the regime-affiliated National Union of Syrian Students, or NUSS, whose job was to terrorise campus activists opposed to President Assad. He refused to join in the brutality and later left the group, but says many others revelled in the violence.
The NUSS member who inflicted the most harm was considered a good member in the eyes of the NUSS and would obtain benefits in the future.
On
May 2nd, 2012, members of the student union stormed the students' residence of Aleppo University and threw students from the 6th floor to the ground.
Yamen was also a student at Aleppo University.
On May the 21st, 2013, the Faculty of Science was stormed and I was arrested while sitting my exams. I was tortured, including by beating, electric shocks and starvation.
Yasmin Nalawi, who led the Syrian British Consortium's investigation into the NUSS, says that while the sight of Syrian security forces beating protesters in the street or bombing homes is sadly familiar to many, what happened on campuses is probably not.
People are used to seeing or even documenting evidence of massacres, aerial bombardments, chemical weapons, and the like. But this investigation truly shows how every single institution within Syria was weaponized against the Syrian people.
Syria's delegation to the Paris Olympics next month is likely to include Omar Al-Aroub, chair of the country's Sports Federation and Paralympics Committee. He previously held a senior role in the NUSS, first in Aleppo and then nationally, a prospect Yasmin Nalawi is campaigning to stop by publishing today's report into what he and other former members are alleged to have done.
We have testimony that says that Aroub gave direct orders to violently clamp down against nonviolent protests at the University of Aleppo. We have testimony that says that he ordered fellow NUSS members to throw regime-opposing students out of 4th floor windows at the student residences. So this is a man who should not be representing Syria internationally. He belongs before a courtroom.
That report was by Mike Thompson.